Okay, welcome back to video number 4. In this one, we're talking on-page SEO that doesn't suck. So let's get into it, no time to waste. One time a few years ago, my grandma called me up insisting that her computer wasn't working. The screen or monitor was just black. Only to later realize a couple minutes later that the reason it wasn't working is because her monitor wasn't even plugged in. Well, that's how simple some of the problems seem when you know great on-page SEO practices. I'm being serious here, guys. I have people pay me $450 per hour to consult them on how to improve their rankings. And when I look at their site, it's usually some super basic mistakes that we're going to get into today. So make sure that you actually pay attention today because this stuff is very important. So starting with the absolute basics, on-page SEO is the process of tweaking your website to increase the traffic from search engines. This is specifically tweaking your website, not doing anything anywhere else. Hence why it's called on-page or on-site SEO. So let's start with some basics. The title tag. This is the thing you'll see in Google, like I've highlighted in yellow. This is a great spot to include the main keyword that you're going after, and if you're smart, you'll expand it by adding additional words that you can target also, like the word guide that I've used here, or 2016, though obviously that's out of date, because that allows you to target additional keywords. Not only are you ranking for smoker reviews, you're also ranking for best smoker reviews, best smoker reviews guide, smoker guide, best smoker guide, smoker reviews 2016, smoker reviews guide 2016, and all those variations there. So it's very, very smart thing to do. Another thing you want to do here is treat it like an ad title. So this is what people are going to see when they go onto Google and they search for that keyword. So you want to treat it like an ad so it entices them, it attracts them to click onto your website rather than everyone else's. And in code, the title tag is represented as, a title tag as shown in the second box there below the example. Next up is meta description. This is the description that's shown below the title in Google search results. This is really great to show variations of the main keyword and synonyms. Then what you can also do is have a call to action like this one has in this example to get people to click onto your website. So this one says, read expert reviews and compare features of the best and cheapest electric smokers. So the idea is that it entices you to click it. It's a call to action, asks you to take action. Just make sure here that in the description, you do not repeat the main keywords. Otherwise, you're at big risk of over-optimizing. So use different keywords here or variations of it and synonyms of that main keyword. So rather than best survival knife, use best survival knives, but obviously don't actually use best survival, use like synonyms of those words as well. In code, the meta description is represented with a meta tag named description. Just don't repeat the main keywords here, otherwise you're at a big risk of over-optimizing. So rather than using the word best, use the word top in the description and things like that. So you're mixing up using synonyms and variations of different types of keywords that are all relevant, all ones you want to target anyway, but not the exact same one because you've already used it. You don't want to over-optimize there. Now in code, the meta description is represented with a meta tag named description, which you can see in the example below, which you can see here in the second box. Next up, we have headings. Not only are these great visuals to make your content look even better and make it significantly easier to read, they're also prime real estate to show the keywords that you are focusing on. Include the main keyword in the main heading, the H1, though usually, so what you want to do is include the main keyword in the main heading, the H1 tag. Though usually, what you want to do is make this actually a bit longer. So if it's just best meat smokers, don't just write best meat smokers in the heading, actually expand it a little bit and write the best meat smokers of 2017 and maybe even expand that even longer, make it a bit longer. It seems to help even more with ranking there. Then with the other headings, you want to focus on the different keywords within them. So in this example, you can see best electric smoker reviews, which is another keyword they probably want to rank for, but different from the main one. Again, you don't want to repeat keywords over and over again because it will over-optimize it. You want to write it in a very natural way, but just consider this stuff, especially for the headings. Now in code, the heading tags are represented by how big they are. So H1 is the main header of the page, only shown once. H2 is the headlines within the H1. And H3 are the headlines within the H2, and so on and so forth. That's basically how it works. It's relatively simple. Then there's the permalinks, or page URLs. That's basically the URL of the page. So if you're ranking an inner page, not the home page, make sure that you include the keywords in the page URL, like I've highlighted in this example here. This is another prime spot to establish your relevance to that keyword and to the topics that you're trying to rank for. Now let's get a little bit more advanced and talk about internal links. Internal links are links between different pages of your website. So in this example, I've highlighted 2 internal links. Can you see them? If you click the text there, mistakes to avoid, it will take you to an article basically on their website, so internal on their website, showing beginner mistakes to avoid when starting out, and the other one will take you to a different page. And this is really good for like sharing like the power between all the different pages on your website, but we're going to do one better than that, and I'm going to introduce you to something called a silo structure. A silo structure is the implementation of deliberate site-wide internal linking to power up specific key pages. Fancy description, I know. But basically, it's where you deliberately plan out which pages will link to which, so you power up your key pages, right? So let me explain this in a simple diagram. So here's an example if you had a basic 5-page website. You have the home page, which is about plumbing in London, as an example. Then you have 4 additional pages that are supporting pages for that topic. Let me quickly explain what supporting pages are, and we'll get back to silo structures. So supporting pages are pages that are built for the sole purpose of adding more site relevancy to a topic. Without this, it's hard to convince Google you're an authority on the topic when you only have 1 page. So you obviously want to have multiple pages. I recommend having at least 4 supporting pages for that topic. Anyway, back to the silo structure. So for this example, we'll say that each of the supporting pages are details about one of the company's different plumbing services, because it's a London plumbing company's website. And then what you want to do is you want to link from the homepage to each of these pages, which is a very smart move for usability, but it's also for sharing the power from the homepage to these pages. Now what we're also going to do in this example is we're going to link back to the homepage from these pages, since again the homepage is the important page. The homepage is the page we want to rank, so we want to send all that power right back to the homepage. Now if we said that a backlink got pointed at, say, supported page number 3, because we have that link from that page to the homepage, the power is going to be transferred through to that homepage there. So we're sending it through to the homepage, which makes it much better, because you also want to build links to these inner pages too, but we'll get into that in the backlinks video later on. So this is good, but we can do one better, and what we can do is we can internal link all of these supporting pages to each other. So in this example, I've just linked each supporting page to the next one. And what's going to happen now is that if you link to supporting page number 3, it's going to share that power not only with the homepage, but also with supporting page number 4, which is also sharing it with the homepage as well. So it's just passing it through there. And if you change that and obviously did it to supporting page number 1, then it passes it through every single other supporting page plus to the homepage from each of them. So we're just deliberately creating an archetype, creating a structure of how we'll do the internal linking to get the most benefit to the most important pages. Apologies if I'm getting a little bit too technical too fast here, but that's basically just one example of how you can do a silo structure. And we'll cover a lot more detail on this in scientific rankings. Again, you can click the button below to get the full details. Moving on, another important thing is content. Here's a stupidly simple trick to get the right amount of content on your website. Look at what your competitors have and one-up them. If they have 5,584 words on the page that's ranking, then add 6,000 to yours. It's really that simple. If they have 10 pages, add 11, 12, 13 pages, and so on. Just look at what's already working and copy it and one-up it. Next up is keyword density. Now, deliberately inflating the keyword density is an extremely outdated strategy, but you need to know this so you don't accidentally inflate it. So what you want to do is write your content for humans. But while you're doing that, you need to be careful of overusing the keywords. If the keyword is pink fluffy elephants, you need to be cautious that you haven't used any of those words too much, especially in that exact phrase, pink fluffy elephants. So you can determine the keyword density percentage, which is a percentage by the way, by copying the whole article into Word or whatever word processor you use, and then searching the words in that page and seeing how many times it appears out of the whole word count. So like figuring out the percentage of like 25, it's shown 25 times out of a 500 word article, and I'm sure you can figure out the maths probably better than I can tell you how to do that. So to wrap this all up in under 10 minutes, hopefully, I've got one final tip for you, and that is that the absolute easiest way to implement all of these changes is through a very simple to use tool for WordPress named Yoast. There's no code and skill required. You don't need to remember the title tags, the H1 tags, or anything like that. Just highlight a text and click it, or anything like that. All you need to do is install this plugin or some others that do the same sort of thing, and you can edit everything right from the posts and the pages. It makes it super easy. One of the many reasons that I highly recommend using WordPress and why I recommended it in the site setups video. So that about wraps up this video. I hope you got some great tips for it. This on-page SEO stuff is extremely important. Feel free to rewatch it a few times, and I will see you in tomorrow's video where we're going to start talking about backlinks. Very exciting stuff. I'll see you then.